I think we improved the car a little bit, from the sprint race yesterday into qualifying, and I could feel that also today in the race, where I think it was just a little bit more consistent to drive. Any compound, I was very happy. It's still, this track is very heavy on the tires, so I was still, of course, managing around that to make the stint length work. But it was an incredible weekend where it was really enjoyable to drive the car.
I had a good turn 1, turn 2. I could get ahead of the Aston. I could control the race myself, and that seemed to make a very big difference today. So the pace was strong, but like I said, a little bit surprising. But of course, to finish on the podium is always a great day.
Good result to finish off the weekend with 2-3 places. But today I wanted more. I did expect a little bit more from the race. The sprint looked very promising, but today we just were not able to capitalize on the results. I think we did some changes that potentially took us away some of the performance. I think we were a little bit worse than we were earlier on the weekend.
I think as a team we were quite confident that our race pace was very strong. However, we didn't drive on the hard until now, and once we put the hard, we were much slower than what we expected. So that was a big surprise, especially for McLaren was very, very strong on the hard. However, having said that, I think we have also been put on the back foot with the safety car, because that puts us in the same strategy as everybody. And until that moment, I was doing a really, really good job with the tires, and I was very confident that we could do a great race. After that, it was much more difficult.
First of all, I think we need to review the start, because I think, we had a strange line there through turn 1, turn 2, which meant that the Mercedes and the Haas passed both Charles and I, which cost us probably a bit of a race time. And then, the timing of the safety car wasn't ideal, because everyone could put a new tire in front of me, and I was left with a very old tire for the last stint, and I had to nurse the tire home for a P5.
I think the result is probably a fair one. What we've seen, we know we have work to do, and it was good to have this sprint format this weekend. We had 2 very different setups on the car, Friday and Saturday morning versus Saturday afternoon and today. So lots to pick through and build from.
Definitely crazy race. A lot of things happened for us in the race. As you said, great start, P2, the first couple of laps. Then few safety cars that probably didn't help our strategy and make the others save the tires a little bit and last until the end. We had to make another stop, yes. So that was not ideal, but at the end nearly crashed, but then fastest lap and P7. So all in all, I think a good weekend.
It sounded like you were driving with a very hobbled McLaren MCL60. Just how bad was the damage on the car?
Significant. I don't know how much time it was worth, but looking at the back of the car after the race, it was pretty destroyed. So I think it explains quite a lot of the deficit. I think in the first part of the race it was looking okay, lacking a little bit of pace, but not too bad. And then after the restart, just very much literal damage limitation.
Did you enjoy the race, at least going from where you were on the grid to points finish?
Not particularly. I mean, I was pretty slow. But I mean, the few battles I had was okay. But I mean, I was not particularly quick today.
I think it was well managed, well controlled from our side. Very positive and happy about that we got that 1 point, which was up for grabs. But it shows one of the top 5 cars had a problem, and obviously that's the spot we kind of stole because of it. Otherwise, it's not really possible to race with them. But it also just shows that we need to have a perfect Saturday and quali and Sunday to be able to be where we are.
Happy in one way and not on the other one, because it's been a really well maximized 2 days, I think, on our side, and we don't get the rewards that we wanted to get. It's our best finishing position of the season, but 2.5 seconds away from that top 10, and it would have been an amazing day if we were getting that. So we're going to keep pushing for the next one, hopefully getting the points, but it's a small step towards the right direction.
I mean, it was an okay race. We did the best we could, I think. that result was more or less where we were. And then I don't know about that safety car. I don't know if it helped us or hindered us, but it hasn't been our track this weekend. Hopefully in Miami we'll be a bit stronger.
It was always going to be a tricky weekend on my side without the upgrade. Esteban had the new floor and new chassis, which worked well and bring us closer to the point. And even on my side, was more of a damage limitation weekend, trying to get everything out of any opportunities, and so that's what we did actually. We came 13th, quite close to Hülkenberg in P10. Managed to get some nice overtakes and good battles on track. So yeah, it was. There's still a few things to improve. I think most important is the upgrades work. So it brings us a bit closer. There's still a lot of work ahead of us because we're still not competitive enough, but at least it's a step in the right direction.
You had that moment on the grid at the end of the race, and it just seemed to get you right in the ticker. Where did it hit you, the emotion at that point?
Honestly, the whole crowd, as much as I say I want to focus, treat this as a normal race weekend, but then when you see the crowd from Friday, they are all packed on the grandstanding every stage, and then every time you go out from garage, they are cheering on the grid. So all this just get me, and also this journey, to get here. I'm just super proud and honored to be finally having the first Chinese driver to compete in the Chinese Grand Prix after 20 years. So emotional, of course. That's a very special moment for me.
It was a Constantina effect in the hairpin. Someone braked in front, and then I think it was like everyone kind of braked. The car in front of me just stopped right in front of me. I had nowhere to go, and yeah, it was just one of those really weird racing incidents.
Wasn't really our day. Started P17, bad qualifying yesterday, and took the consequence of that today. Sometimes you can make it back, but today we couldn't.
The first half of the race was pretty good, to be honest. I think especially on that medium tire, we felt like we were in a really good window. I think we had ourselves up into a pretty good position and in a pretty good place, but yeah, we just put the hard tire on and literally it degged immediately, and just really struggled from that point forward. So
pretty simple. I got hit pretty big, so yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, restarts. You gotta look at the car in front, obviously, and see what's happening, and it's frustrating because yeah, it wasn't like a little love tap. Went right under the car, and then we had obviously a lot of damage, so we had to. Well, we retired the car because we were obviously not really driving an F1 car at the end with the damage we had. So really, yeah, frustrating, obviously.
Yeah, unfortunate, and I think it's pretty frustrated how we ended up, because it's pretty good in terms of how I progressed until then. So, but it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really sudden. Just lost the drive, and then yeah, engine turned off basically, and car stopped. I don't know what caused it yet, but something to investigate. But yeah, it's disappointing because it seemed like we were running for points today.